I was so targeted as soon as I got in there.
Like, put his hands on me and I swatted him.
Now we're getting
Oh, okay, I'm ready. Keeping blackmail on people for power.
So nobody can speak out.
Yeah.
What is the most beautiful and special moment in your life so far?
Nobody should go
No
through
one
that
deserves to
much.
go through that, especially when...
You didn't do anything wrong.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have the lovely Ro with me. And as you can see, we will be spilling so much tea. I asked you guys to ask us a bunch of questions on X. I'm so used to calling it Twitter, but it's
Me
Twitter
too.
now.
I keep forgetting to call it
X.
I grew up with it being Twitter, so
I
it's so hard for me
know.
because it's just a natural instinct.
We asked you guys to ask us on X. And we got a couple questions, so we're just gonna have some time to spill some tea. But little fun fact, guys, this area, this little setup is actually Rosanna's podcast room. And she's gonna be coming on with a podcast soon, which is so exciting.
I'm so excited.
I
You
cannot
have to
wait.
come on. You're coming on.
I'm going to come on. Don't you worry. I'm
You're
so
the
excited.
first girlie that we're filming in this booth.
In this like setup.
Yes,
and if
this
only
is
you guys
it.
could see, like this setup is insane. Like there's lights everywhere. It's so pretty. I love it. So
I'm gonna live here now, so I'm glad you like it. 'Cause
it's
this is my new
incredible.
home.
It's so good.
And it's not done yet. I still gotta do some curtains. I still gotta do a few things, but so it's a little extra,
like-
you guys. That's why we're using these little
Yeah, we got our little
microphones.
mics. Rose said that they use these mics on like Survivor, which is so
Yeah,
crazy.
they have like
I
a
love
thing,
Survivor.
and then they like cover it with all this like twine stuff, so they look like a natural necklace.
I love
so
it.
they're microphone necklaces. So on a lot of shows, you'll see if they wear the microphone necklace, it's like this, but then they like decorate it to look pretty.
I feel
But
like
I didn't
you
have
would,
time to do that.
I
just
feel
clip
like you
them
would do
on.
well on Survivor.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I think you
I don't
really
know.
could. I know I couldn't.
I don't know.
I wouldn't last a day.
Like you have to build a shelter. You have to
Find food.
find food. I could
Don't
fish.
you have to like cook the fish and stuff too?
I could cook it.
Oh yeah, you definitely
I could
cook
find
it.
the fish and cook it, but like building a shelter,
Yeah.
I'm a little nugget. Like, how am I going to chop down a tree? How am I going to
But I feel like
How
you
am I gonna do
would,
that?
you'd find like the other teammates and they'd help
Yeah.
you.
I need somebody
I
who
don't
could
know.
build stuff.
Yeah.
And I could hunt and cook,
Yes.
but I don't know if I could build.
I feel like you're also like fast. You'd be like, wee.
Like,
I feel like she would try. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Ro would make it far on Survivor? I wouldn't say she'd win the whole thing, but like I think she'd make it pretty far.
that's really sweet. I feel like I would get out almost immediately. I feel
No,
like-
that's definitely me. That's definitely
On Escape
me.
the Night, that was almost you. Wait, were you the first? No, you were the second out. Third out.
No. I made
Fourth
it pretty
out.
far.
Wait, how many?
We were head to head. No, like
I
we
just
had to
remember-
battle each other,
It
which
was-
was so sad.
Yeah, I remember
I
we
didn't
held
like that.
hands.
I know.
I was like, I don't want to do this.
And then I got strangled. That's actually like one of the first questions. Actually, let me put
Wait,
up.
it is?
And we have so much Escape the Night questions. First question:
Ooh.
which Escape the Night cast member were you very close to? Besides Ro, love Ro. Like Ro was always the life of the party. She's always so much fun. Always having everybody crack up in the hair and makeup room. I'm gonna go with Matt Pat for me personally.
Yes,
he
definitely.
was the best.
So smart.
So smart, so sweet. We got along so well. I miss him.
I know. I know he's so far away
his
now.
baby's so big now.
I know, they're
How
growing up
crazy
so
is
fast.
that?
It's crazy that our friends are having kids and then
Yeah.
they're growing up and they're becoming little like people.
Yeah.
Like,
and they
they're-
like walk and talk and like have a mind of their own. Like they're not
And,
just
like,
a little nugget anymore.
What just happened? You were just a little baby.
Also, I feel like the older, I mean, I guess this is kind of a stupid thing, but like it's true. The older I've gotten, when people get pregnant, I always thought like, oh my God, they're like, they're pregnant forever. Like that pregnancy lasts so long. It's like, no, it doesn't. Like they're pregnant and then the baby's here. Like I feel like it just keeps getting faster and faster and faster. Like so many of my friends that have had kids, they're just like 2 years old now. And I'm like, what? When did this happen?
It's not.
It's crazy. But I would definitely say Matt Pat. He was so sweet, had my back. Like,
Yeah.
he was great. What about you?
Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Same. Yeah.
Ditto.
No, like they were just the best.
I loved it. I like being on Escape the Night season 3 because we actually got to spend more time together.
We got to spend so much time together.
Before we've collabed and hung out a little bit, but that was the first time we got to spend time together.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope they don't ever put us against each other.
And of course they did.
And then they put us against each other.
Head to head.
And we were like,
on
no.
who could get strangled first. Like, honestly, seriously?
I was so tired. I was like, when we were running around in that field, there was fog because they had the fog machines and it was nighttime.
Your
and I could
outfit
barely
was so
see.
cute, by the way. The little like green, yellow thing.
Yours was, you look like a sexy spot. You look like
I really liked my outfit.
Yeah, you look like a 00 agent.
That was a
like,
look.
You like yours was,
and it was
very
warm too,
sleek and like
it was a vibe.
Yeah, and I felt like I looked like a little fuzzy thing.
No, you looked so freaking cute.
People dress up their
Did you have a
Pomeranians.
hat too? Yes.
You put little like bows and hats on your dog.
Yes.
That's what I felt like. I was just this fuzzy little thing, just like
walking around.
Yellow tights, a yellow hat.
Like a green jacket
coat with fuzzies. Yes. I was literally just a Pomeranian.
No, you kind of look like a Girl Scout vibe. Like a grown-up Girl Scout. It was so hard, but I will say I'm glad that like I got out the way I got out because I was so targeted as soon as I got in there.
You were
by someone who's not a good person. So that's funny. But like she had it out for me from the jump.
They were gunning for you to
like
get out.
I'll never forget if you watch season 3 of Escape Tonight, literally the first episode, I barely even spoke to anyone. And they're like, Teala's got the most votes to be eliminated out. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, why? And then it's like me and JC. And like, shout out to Matt Pat, because like, if it wasn't for Matt Pat, somehow Matt Pat had something to do with the fact that I won, I think.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know what happened. But anyways.
He's smart like that.
He is.
He'll figure out a way to help. If he can do it, he'll do it.
That was so sweet. And then poor JC just got out immediately, but whatever.
He was a sweetheart.
Love JC. He's about to be a father. Yeah. His fiance is
Everyone's
pregnant.
having babies. Everyone's having babies. Everybody, mine.
And I love her. Shout out to Chelsea. Love Chelsea. She's great.
Do they know what they're having yet?
I don't think so. She just announced the pregnancy, but so cute. So cute.
So excited. I'm so happy for them. He was such a sweetie.
Yeah,
that
love
was really
him.
fun. I loved
it. Was
hanging
a
out
really
with him.
good season.
Yeah.
Like we had some crazy people in there.
Yeah, I think that was one of my favorites. Just the setting. It was so iconic. It was shot in the same location they filmed all those scenes from Westworld.
Yes.
In that chapel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it even
wasn't there clowns at one point?
There was like creepy clowns chasing us, and they were so method that even between breaks, they wouldn't break character.
No,
so it
which was
made
so
it feel
creepy.
really real because my heart rate would actually go up because even on a break when we were like tied to the Ferris wheel and things like they would like
they'd just still be like
taunting you and like
they were about it. Oh my gosh. Wait, didn't you do All Stars? How was that?
Oh, that one it was fun. I really liked it. Big personality issue, I think a little bit, but overall I had
probably
a good
clashed
time.
a little.
Yeah, but I had a really good time, and I honestly lasted accidentally longer than I think that I had into the episode with Matt Pat, where he kind of like came in as a guest to help in the mazes, and I think I was supposed to be kind of written off then. I think was kind of.
Well, she said surprise.
Surprise.
She said,
I stayed for longer.
I stayed for way longer.
Kind of by default, but I'll take it. I'm like a bench warmer. I'm like, put me in, coach. I'll just keep this bench nice and warm.
Nice and warm.
And you need somebody, I'm there. I got your back.
Period.
I had a great time.
Okay, now we're getting into
Oh,
the juice.
okay, I'm ready.
Now we're getting into the truth tea. Okay.
Oh, I better clear my throat.
What are your thoughts on the Diddy situation? Now, I haven't like read too much up on it fully. I know the gist and like I've seen the TikToks, and all I can say is, what is going on? Why is there so much baby oil?
So, and those
over 700.
That is wild. Like, if I went to a party and they were giving out goodie bags, and that's the first thing they gave you was a bottle of lube and and they were like, "Thanks for coming," I'd be like,
Interesting.
I'm not judging. Just
but
the vibe is feeling.
What? I just feel like that situation is the definition of like I mean, I've always said this, everything you do in the dark will always come to light. Like, no matter how long it takes, no matter how much money you have, how much power you have, like, if you live dirty and you do a lot of stuff that's messed up and you harm a lot of people, you will get your karma eventually. Like, I'm telling you, I feel like this is the year where a lot of up shit is just being presented and the truth will always come out.
I really want to know who was on the list.
Me too.
Like, what I have heard about it is that he would have these parties, the freak off parties.
The freak offs.
And he would invite a lot of women. Some were like women of the night where they would do that as a profession, but a lot of women were not. And I heard that they were drugged unknowingly against their will.
Yep. Couldn't leave.
Yep. And he's like, even like there was a tweet about like keeping it really warm, drinking a lot of alcohol, giving them drugs, locking the doors.
He said that on like some interview.
Yeah. And he said the heat with the alcohol makes you more dizzy and stuff. And it was like kind of like putting people into a drug induced kind of a state. And like, I'm all for consensual fun. Like if you're
two consensual adults having a good time and you're aware, cool.
But this did not seem like that's the case.
That's not at all.
And then it also said that there's all these videotapes that they found. And the videotapes, I guess, are like of people doing a lot of acts that they would be embarrassed by or like that happened to them. And I guess he's held it allegedly for blackmail. So it seems
that
like
makes so
his
much
thing
sense.
is about
so
power, you know, like keeping blackmail on people for power.
So nobody can speak out.
Yeah.
A lot of people think they've thought that they can get away with so much because of the power and the money, but
yeah. I have some tea.
Oh, I'm ready.
There was an artist in the news. I'll send you the link. And they said that they were basically harassed by and Diddy, and they were like hanging out or something. And it just kind of gave me a red flag because I was at a SAG Award show one year and I attended the SAG Awards, then afterwards went to an after party and like put his hands on me and I swatted him. But I didn't know it was him.
Oh my God.
So I was at a party and I was talking to my friend and I was saying I was around all these really established actors. Like Meryl Streep came and gave me a hug for the first time.
Wow.
And so like I just felt really out of place. I felt really new. And I was telling my friend I kind of felt like a baby. Like this is all just so fresh.
Yeah.
Like this is a whole different world.
A whole different scene.
And a guy came up behind me, put his arms on my shoulders and started like going down just a little bit. And then put his head here and was like, "You don't look like a baby in that dress."
Oh my God.
I just went, ah! And I went like this.
Swat him like a fly.
And I turned around and I was so shocked because it was and I loved him. I was just shocked and I just stared and I just said, you scared me. Sorry. Like, why am I apologizing to him? And then he was like, it's fine. And then he backed away because my reaction was so big because he startled me that other people started to look.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Yeah, I think that if I had not reacted that way, it could have got a little weird. I don't know. But that was my one interaction. And the artist was saying that he started to like rub his inner thigh and his shoulders. And I was like, matches up, aligns with my own experience at the SAG Awards. There's also security footage of him doing that to another woman that came out years ago. And at the time I just thought, well, maybe he had been drinking or something that night. So I didn't really
make too much of it.
Yeah, I just thought that was a really weird interaction. And I came home that night and I was just like, that was really weird. It's just bizarre. And it just seems like
off.
It does seem
Apple
off.
does not like,
and I
birds of a feather flock together.
hate seeing those photos of Aaliyah.
Oh my God,
I
me
hate
too.
seeing
I
those.
loved
They are
Aaliyah so much.
heartbreaking. She had such a beautiful voice.
Stunning. So beautiful inside and out. Like,
I see all those pictures resurfacing of her with these guys who are much older and in powerful positions, and they're just groping her. They're just like ripping her apart.
Like she's like a piece of meat.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
I remember R. Kelly married her when she was 14.
I heard about that. Don't even get me started on R. Kelly. I can't.
And the parents fought so hard to, I guess, annul it like the year later because they were like, what is happening?
That's insane.
Yeah. There's reasons I've stayed away from record labels and the music industry because it's not as regulated as the acting industry is. So even my agents have said, like, we don't recommend it because it isn't as regulated. So I love music, but I'm not sure I want to be in that industry because until it gets regulated, I'm not sure if that's...
Yeah, that's the...
There's a lot going on over there.
Too much. Way too much.
I don't have enough tea. It's too much.
We would drink all the tea. No. What is the most beautiful and special moment in your life so far? Someone said. That's such a cute question. I don't know.
Most beautiful, special moment?
That's so cute.
Oh my gosh. What? That's hard. I feel like I've had so many. Like when my nephews were born. Oh. But I have 2 nephews, so that's like 2 moments.
Yeah.
But I also...
They're so cute.
I just love when Molly moved really close. That's always also special. Or like when my mom moved in, that was special. I don't know. It's a lot about family, I guess. But I don't know if there's one. It's like a lot.
It's so hard to narrow it down.
Yeah.
I feel like last year I took my dad to a football game, like the Rams football game, and I went with Amazon and like I surprised him, and he's like such a football junkie. Like he's obsessed with football. He used to play football.
Excited.
He was so excited and just thought they were like normal tickets and was like crying. Like it was like right before Christmas too, so I told him it was like a little Christmas gift. But I lied. We got a suite that was on the floor. So like the players were like running up. Like he got to like take a photo with the mascot, like the whole thing, and like they gave him like swag and stuff, and he was like freaking out because he thought we would be like all the way in the back and still have fun. So I feel like that was like a highlight. Like my dad just loved it, and then also
doing cute.
My mom has 4 dogs. Well, my parents have 4 dogs. Well, like I have 4 dogs too, and I love my parents, but like. I just think the fact that like my parents just love dogs so much and like they're just like my little babies too. And I get so much serotonin whenever I like visit them. So yeah, I'd say that and the dogs.
Boost the spirit.
Oh my God, dogs are the best. The more dogs you get, the happier you become. And then, yes, it's kind of a lot of work, but then like my mom was saying like now she has 4 dogs, she's like, they can just tire themselves out. So it's like, it's not as hard as you think.
They'll play with each other.
They play with each other. It's perfect.
That's what mine do. I have 3, and I'm like...
It's perfect. They can just run around all day.
Tila's mom has 4, so I think I need 4.
Exactly. If Mama Dunn has 4, you should get 4 too.
Yeah, I mean, look, poor Honey Bun. She needs another friend.
Honey Bun. What was the most unbelievable thing that happened on the set during Escape the Night?
Unbelievable. On season 4, it was so windy because we were shooting outside. It almost blew away the set.
What?
And we had to take a break. Like the equipment, because the Santa Ana winds were coming through and they get really strong, you guys. The Santa Ana winds, when they pick up, are like...
They pick up.
Whoa. So we had to take a break because like there went the camera, like the rig is, so we had to take, it was wild. I was trying to like stand there and my coat was like flying over my head for a shot.
Oh my goodness.
I was like trying to hold it down.
Oh no.
It was really wild.
I don't like when it gets super cold. I would not like that. Was it like dusty too or no?
No, it wasn't really dusty. It was mostly just like, I'm in a tornado.
Oh, sounds great. Love it.
Our season, what was the craziest thing that happened?
I think the craziest thing that happened was...
About your death, how you died.
The fact that I got strangled to death by like
that was pretty
a 7 feet figure.
Monster. What's his name?
I don't know.
Buttons?
Benjamin Buttons.
It was Benjamin. I found the pieces. I'm trying to put it together and you have to spell his name. And I had every combination but Benjamin. Every combination but Benjamin. It was terrible.
It was a mess. I say that's the craziest because
It was nuts.
I got choked out by Benjamin.
A-N-J? Benjamin, that's your name, Benjamin. I got it. I did. That's a stone.
And I'll say same, death scene. They did not cheat the time at all. We were up at 3 a.m. in the middle of a dark field with fog, and we were trying to find these chips while a monster was chasing us this entire time.
Everyone on set was just like laughing at us because we were not getting it.
We were not finding it.
We were not figuring it out at all. We
needed a map, Pat.
And then
we were like, where's these pieces?
And then we also were just like, I just remember like, there was nothing like mean about us towards one another. Like we would just be like, oh, did you find it? Like,
did you find it? Like,
oh, I don't know.
Are you
like,
seeing anything? We're like, no. God, we needed flashlights.
Oh my
I
God.
could not see.
It was so dark. We
So
were out
dark.
there for so long.
You couldn't see anything.
I loved Escape the Night. It was so fun.
And the fog, the thick
fog. Oh my goodness, the fog was crazy.
It was already hard enough to, if you drop something on the ground, to find it at night with the grass. It was, and there was holes.
Oh my God, there were so many holes.
I was falling all over.
I'm surprised we didn't like get stuck in a hole
or something like that. Yeah. When I died, we had to drink a lot of witch's brew. You had to drink until you find a pentagon and then go through this kind of like obstacle course of puzzles. And then
you got poisoned?
I was stuck with the witch's brew. I drank nothing. 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 And it was kombucha. So then I drank all this kombucha. And
I bet your stomach is like bubbling
I started
up.
feeling really sick. And they were like, oh, Ro, you lost. And I was like, it's cool. And then I had to ask the director if I could just step off camera and go puke. Because I was like, I'll film this death scene.
Yeah,
I'll give
but
you.
like,
I'm gonna
give me
I'm gonna give you all my all. I just need a moment. And all that kombucha was just too bubbly.
Bubbling it up, especially drinking it so fast too. It was probably just like a lot.
Yeah, don't like shoot kombucha like that.
No,
not that much.
Never.
No. So that was a little disgusting, but I was fine. Then they stabbed me to death at a sacrificial altar, all the witches.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they slaughtered me like a lamb.
That has to be one of the craziest things.
I don't know, it was wild.
What?
It was wild. And I actually,
Joey, what were you doing to us?
Yeah, Joey.
I'm kidding. I love you, Joey.
Yeah, invite us over. We'll see you soon.
We'll do it again. We love you.
When's the next dinner party?
When's the next Escape the Night? Like, please.
We're ready.
We have a special guest, Coconut.
Yeah, Coconut says hi. Okay, my dog Coconut.
I've saved the craziest question for last. What was the hardest part about Ro speaking out against MrBeast?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a
good one.
I think when I first spoke up in October, people didn't know what I knew because I had worked with him for 5 years. It wasn't just like I was some random girl in one of his videos and it was just this one time. We had done multiple business deals for years before and I had a good sense of him. And also a lot of people reached out to me and were telling me things and information and I just was in shock and it was all processing and it was really overwhelming. Just coming to terms with someone who I thought was a certain way was not. And it was more of a facade. I think that was one that was hard. Just when you think you're getting to know another creator in the space who you like admire and then you find out that they're not who you thought they were. And that's hard on its own.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
When I spoke up about my negative experience, like the amount of cyberbullying and harassing was awful from a creator that large that has almost 300 million subscribers.
And that's crazy.
It's just so massive and it's just relentless. It was nonstop relentless and then it just got really dark. I started getting death threats and I had never had those kind of like death threats before and I didn't know how to process it and I thought I was having a heart attack.
Oh my God.
My heart started to get really tight and it started to hurt and I like wanted to be in a ball. It hurt to like breathe, like when you expand and I got really nauseous and sweaty and I was vomiting nonstop.
No.
And I found out later that I had a panic attack. And that's not normal for me. I was just really scared for like my safety and my family's safety because they were making real threats and also nervous because like I have never really been in a lot of drama. So I didn't know how to handle that.
All of that. That's
I didn't know.
insane.
So now I know. I talk to like my agents. I talk to YouTube. I talk to law enforcement. Now I know what to do and like how to report somebody. And I just feel like I'm better equipped. But then I was completely knocked off guard and it was just way too much and nobody should go through that.
No one deserves to go through that, especially when
you didn't do anything wrong.
No, not at all.
Just being honest.
Yeah.
That is completely unacceptable. And it's really just like this very cult like following and group that is curated. And I think that was the hardest part is that there just wasn't a lot of people speaking on their experiences. And I think that there's a lot more people and there's a lot of other things going on that they're afraid to speak up against Jimmy, MrBeast, and his company, because what they do off camera and how they run things is really dangerous, really scary people. They're very dangerous people. They say, we'll ruin your career. We'll make sure you never work in digital again. They're not nice people. They're not fair people. And in my experience, he's been nothing but dishonest. He's been a liar.
Hate the liars.
Running a boys club. That's it.
And that's why, you know, it's so sad when people position of any sort of power, they want to use that against you, then you feel trapped and stuck and feel like you can't speak up or speak out. It's a mess, and it's an ongoing vicious cycle. And like I was saying in the beginning of this video when we were talking about the Diddy situation, not to compare the two, but it's similar in the sense of like what you do in the dark will eventually come out. And I feel like this is the year where a lot of dirty things that people are doing are resurfacing, and people are getting what they deserve at the end of the day. Like you can't keep getting away with lying and being such a dangerous person of power. It's not cool.
Jimmy is the most powerful content creator in the world now. And when power has no accountability, when in history has that ever been a good thing?
The worst combination.
And it really makes me disappointed that some of the bigger creators, they know and they aren't saying anything. I think that I am disappointed by them because they know. Cat Williams has been saying that this is the year that stuff's gonna go down, especially about the Diddy stuff. He said Diddy invited him to a bunch of parties and he was like, no, I don't want any part of it. Keep me away from it. And I just really admire him for doing that, because it's hard to go against
so
the powers that be. It is hard to go against the powers that be because they have so much money. They have so much power. They have so much influence, and they scare people. I would say predator-like. That's more of their vibe. And if you just look at who Jimmy, MrBeast surrounds himself with, like the closest people in his life, like Ava Chris Tyson, having inappropriate relationships with minors, predatory behavior, having the lolly child art on the wall and leaving it up in their house. And then he knowingly hired a registered sex offender. And not only knowingly hired him, but he was convicted of in the 4th degree of a child who is 11 years old, and he made him a manager, and he put him in multiple videos targeted at children.
That is so disturbing.
Yeah, the only reason he's not the company is I've heard, allegedly, that Reed, Night Media manager, made Jimmy fire him because he's like, you cannot do this. Jimmy doesn't have those morals.
Sick.
Yep.
Well, on that note, cheers to the tea, and cheers for being honest. And I can't wait for you guys to check out Rose podcast. I can't wait to be on it soon.
I can't wait to have you. We're gonna have so much fun.
We're gonna have so much fun.
So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna we'll do an interview, and then I have some fun games for us to play.
I love games.
It's gonna be structured but very fun.
I love it. We actually drank a good amount of the tea.
I have a sip left. Wait, let me finish. Should we finish tea?
We finished all the tea.
Not a drip left.
Not a drop left. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, guys. It's free. It helps me out a lot. I will have Rose channel and all her links in the description. I was supposed to say in the comment section. No, in the description.
It'll be in the comments, the description,
all of the things.
I'll be hanging out wherever.
She'll be hanging around. But I told you guys I'm finally back, and let me know what else Ro and I should do on my channel, because I love Ro so much. Maybe we could have a bake off. No, that wouldn't be good. I'd burn your house down.
That would be fun though. We could do it. I'll do like a I could do one-handed.
That was another question before we go, actually, that I missed. Someone said, what's your favorite thing that you ever baked?
Oh, I'm fancy now.
You're fancy now?
I'm fancy now.
What?
Before, I would just take any sweet, any sugar, any dessert. Like you could throw any piece of sugar at me, and I was just like, I love it.
Now you're like,
but now that I've had desserts for years and years and years, I really appreciate like all the flavors and textures, and like I would say my palate has developed like as I'm getting older.
Okay.
And I will say that I am a sucker for a chiffon cake with a Swiss buttercream icing.
I don't even know if I know
my
what
gosh.
that is.
You literally, when you're making the cake, half of it is cake batter and the other half is meringue that you have to whip up and then you fold
Wait, that
together so
sounds
it's light and
delicious.
fluffy. And then the Swiss buttercream has all those buttery flavors, but it's whipped over a double boiler. So it's like the texture is like melting, almost like whipped cream.
Oh,
it's like
wait.
a buttercream that's like the texture of whipped cream. And it just, when you have a bite of that cake, if you're ever at a restaurant and they have a chiffon cake with a Swiss buttercream on the menu, order it.
Order it.
That is made with
Wait,
love.
now I want to try this.
That is made with love.
So good.
It takes sweat and tears to make that.
She's whipping it up.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
not something. That's not a box cake. That is
not at all.
labor of love.
Labor of love.
And you can taste it. You can taste it. You're like,
That sounds delicious. Well, we love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.